Start of the second quarter from inside Quealy Gymnasium with Tim Verdi, Matthias Wallman, and, well, that one really got away from Molloy in a hurry to end that first quarter. Deadlocked at 12-12, and then a 9-0 run for Bridgeport. They enter the second quarter at 20-12 lead.
Yeah, it was great for them. A lot of damage being done at the free throw line. They also connected on a big three-pointer from Loney, and Molloy really going cold, just one of their last 12 now from the floor after they started shooting the ball pretty well. And as we said, a big loss for them right now. Sophia Lee starting the second quarter on the bench with those 2 fouls.
McBride down low off the front of the rim, and Meekins tracks it down. Statistically, not a good offensive rebounding team or a good rebounding team in general, as Loney traveled, but individually they have strong rebounders like McBride and like Meekins and players that are really scrappy on the offensive end.
Yeah, they've definitely shown some grit. They've won some of the 50-50 battles, I think, so far in this game. Some of the loose ball scraps, things that you kind of expect to see in the ECC, which can become a dogfight at times.
Spuru got daylight, and she finally cans one. She's had some good looks from mid-range, and she's up to 6 now. So Lee and Spuru still accounting for all 14 of these Molloy points. Lee's 4 of 7, like you mentioned, in foul trouble right now. The rest of the team, 3 of 13. Meanwhile, loose ball, and Meekins recovers. A lot of contact, no foul called. Maya Thomas off to the races, and it's picked off by Loney. Right idea, but Bridgeport on it in transition. Here's Meekins, another block by Spuru. Boy, down low, Spuru has 3 blocks already, and we're just a minute and 5 seconds into the second quarter.
Yeah, a player who I think you could honestly put at any position 1 through 5 on the floor. You see her size. She can handle like a point guard, so she can play everything up to center. She's a threat in the paint, huge effector of opposing shots, and you've seen a lot of that today already.
Spuru 37th in all of Division II in blocks per game. 1.8 per. She's got the rock in her hands with Lee still on the bench to the corner. 3-pointer is short, and here's Hippner, who checked in to start this second quarter for another possession. Pulling up from the free throw line, too strong from Maya Thomas. And again, the offense outside of the paint has been non-existent for Molloy.
Yeah, it's kind of been a symptom this season. You know, we talk about how good Lee and Spuru have been combining for all the points. It's kind of been a rotating cast of who's been the 3rd or 4th scorer on this team. Some games Maya Thomas really steps up. Some games Janelle Moore really steps up. Some games Trinity Hudson can really step up. But I don't think there's been enough consistency maybe from any of those players over the course of the season. The kind of consistency that you need to be a really deep and effective, well-balanced scoring team.
Well, both of these teams do not have a big roster either. About 8 rotational players from each side. As Spuru is true on her jumper. She's made back-to-back mid-rangers now. So you start to get a sense now that the Lions are having success with that game plan, like you said, to defeat the zone, work it down low, and then kick it outside. Nelson just checked in, bounce pass down low, and another Bridgeport turnover. They've turned it over 3 straight possessions now. That's 8 total.
Yeah, Molloy maybe turning up the intensity on defense, it seems like, and a couple of them maybe unforced, but Molloy has been very active in the passing lanes. They've been getting their hands, deflecting passes, different things. So that's a good sign for Molloy that they've ratcheted it up.
Wide open Thomas, and she cans a 3. So it took until the 6th try, but Molloy has a 3-pointer. And they've started off this second quarter well. Deficit down to 1.
And finally their first points from somebody not named Lee or Spuru.
Bounce pass from Nelson down low. And McBride cleans up the easy work. Nice pick and roll between Jessica Nelson and Stephanie McBride.
Yeah, really good vision there from Nelson. Set up McBride for a beautiful put up from the left block.
Inside, Hudson extra pass for Hittner, but it's deflected. From the corner off the catch, Emily Brown. McBride turns the corner, gets to the cup, and throws it up and in. And Stephanie McBride has been a big part of this offense for Bridgeport. She's got 9.
Yeah, there's not a lot she can't do. I mean, she's got some moves off the dribble. She's obviously a threat down low. She's a threat to get the offensive board and put back. She's been a big focal piece of this offense for Bridgeport today.
That snapped a 7-0 scoring run by Molloy. Here from the corner, no good 3 Corbett. And Nelson clears. Tom, the offense, though, has been surviving without Lee and actually thriving a little bit to start this quarter.
Yeah, they've looked pretty good so far. A lot of it, Spuru, kind of maybe getting those similar type of shots that Lee would have anyway down in that paint area. But right now it's a bit of a struggle for Hypner. Got blown past there, and I think Staub may be coming back in here as well to try to give them a bit more life down there.
McBride, first player into double digits with 11. She is 4 of her last 5.
Yeah, she's got the last 6 Bridgeport points.
And a push-off ball. Will be inbounding side out to the right. That's against Jessica Nelson. So Stephanie McBride already with 11 points. It's her 9th time in double-digit scoring. Again, it's an interesting case. This team has some good individual offensive rebounders and good rebounders in general, but they're -5 in rebounding margin. It's one of the worst in the country.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers. Maybe they're giving the opposing teams a lot of extra chances, things like that. But, that's another thing that you don't want to see if you're Molloy, is a Spuru picking up her second foul as well, and another one all the way at the opposite side of her own hoop here.
So for a team like you mentioned that a lot of times has not had a consistent answer on who's the number 3 scorer, the number 4 scorer, their top 2 scores with 2 fouls apiece.
Yeah, and Spuru has to check out now, so it's going to be an interesting time here. We'll have to see who steps up between Thomas, Corbett, Moore, Hudson. I mean, all players who we've seen do it and are capable of doing it on a given night, but who's going to be the ones to step up today with Lee and Spuru on the bench right now?
Meanwhile, the revolving door of substitutions continues for Bridgeport. It seems like these players are kind of hockey-esque. They play 2-3 minute stints and immediately check out.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's kind of the opposite of what we see a lot from Molloy, which is, Thomas, Spuru, Lee, if they're not in foul trouble, those players usually are over 30 minutes per game. And Bridgeport, meanwhile, is going with this strategy of getting a lot of players a blow and taking them out quick, putting them back in. A lot different than what we see from Joe Pelican.
All rotating around the Bridgeport screen. Staub with a little floater, hit every part of the rim, but couldn't get it to drop. And a lazy pass. Meekins comes away with it. Corbett might have taken a shot on the jaw. Poked away, and another Bridgeport turnover. That's 10. In fast break, more extra pass. And it slipped out of the hands of Maya Thomas, but it was last touched by Bridgeport.
Yeah, great hustle by Brianna Meekins. She really never gave up on that play, came all the way back, and was able to get a hand on it and prevent what would have been an easy 2-on-1 fast break layup if not for her hustle.
Molloy struggling to shoot the ball, but their defense is turning things up a notch as this one rattles out from Cameron Corbett. Quick shot the other way for Bridgeport, and it'll stay here. So again, Molloy 33% from the field, 14% from deep, but they have 9 points off of 10 Bridgeport turnovers.
Yeah, and one thing that Molloy hasn't been able to do is get to the line. 0 attempts compared to 7 for 9 from Bridgeport, so that's the difference in the game right now, those 7 points. We'll see if Molloy can find a way to maybe try to get to the stripe at all if, the offense is a bit cool still.
Hudson on the drive, rejected. So after Molloy came out hot in this second quarter, all of which they played without Sophia Lee, they've been ice cold. Short from the corner was Emily Brown, who's been unable to get going so far either. She's 0 for 3 today, usually about a 9-point scorer. And now the Lions and Janelle Moore, a much-needed breather to get their offense back into the swing of things. No points over the last 3.5 minutes for the Lions. Under 10 to shoot. Cross court Moore. Extra pass. Thomas from the corner. Back rim no. There's Corbett offensive rebound. Flips it up and in. Couldn't get it to fall, but called for a blocking foul. Looked like it's against Vienna Knox. That is the case. And Corbett, I'm not sure where she took a shot. It might have been a Charlie horse, but she came up a little limp and gave a nice open hand punch to the padding under the hoop.
And that's, that's some life there shown there by Molloy. I mean, a team who has really not had too many offensive rebounds today. They get a big one there, and they get to the free throw line. So 2 things that they haven't done a whole lot of today. And Corbett so far taking advantage, hits the first.
Well, you mentioned Molloy has not done a lot of get to the free throw line. Those are actually their first 2 shots from the stripe. And they're a good free throw shooting team too. They attempt about 16 of those per game and hit at a 71% clip. Good for 3rd in the conference. Still a 5-point Bridgeport lead though. They've led this entire second quarter. Trinity Hudson yanks down the rebound off the miss. Again, still no Sophia Lee, who had 2 fouls in that first quarter. Have not seen her for a second in this second. Still leading the team. Her and Aspuru with 8 points each. Brady turnaround from Morgan Staub to get her on the board.
And I thought Staub has had a couple of decent looks today, including that last one where it seemed to go all around the rim and then out. So good to see her get off the schneid here and see if maybe she can heat up.
Knox stops to the corner. Inside, tried to push the envelope to Knox. Make that 11 turnovers for the Purple Knights. Up top for Staub. Thomas will let it fly. Too strong. 1 of 10 from deep for Molloy.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately what we've seen too often from this Molloy team. Not good enough on a consistent basis from downtown, and they haven't found a way to turn that into an advantage even against the zone today.
Loney got her own miss off the block shot, and then it's stripped away. Good individual defense that time by Maya Thomas. Corner, short jumper Hudson, and she cashes it. A much needed Molloy bucket. And quickly, Mike West needs time. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll